Okay, I think we're live.
I think so too.
Think so.
Hi, everyone.
Make sure I have this muted.
Hello.
Just realized. Okay, I do. Playing in the background.
Okay,
Yes, we're live. Woo.
we
We
are live.
are.
Okay. So let's just go around, say our names and what we're reading. Jen, do you want to go first?
I sure will. Well, I'm Jen. Thanks for joining my little readathon, everybody. It's so great. I'm actually reading something not on my TBR because that's how my life goes.
Hi.
But I'm literally loving it. So it's be good. So I'm reading The Escort's Tale, which is actually my Patreon book this month. But it is going to work for some of my prompts, actually. So I'm going to keep it. But this book, y'all, this is a really short one. And it's so good. So there is this couple that the husband was in a rock climbing accident and now he's a paraplegic, so he can't feel anything from his like spinal cord down. And they hire this escort because he's feeling like he's not pleasing his wife at all, and he just really needs that, or they're like they can't handle it. And so anyway, so JD is an escort and he gets referred to them from one of their friends who he sees, and he's like helping them work through a few things. And like, guys, right from the first scene, because he like wants it, he usually does like cuckolding scenes, like that's what he does. And so but this is kind of like the opposite of that, kind of.
Yeah.
And so he brings the husband in on, he's like, tell me what to do, like I'm gonna be your hands and your dick, and like I'm gonna do this for you. And like, oh my god. But also then like JD is bisexual, so he starts falling for the husband too, and it's all just
Oh, interesting. I've never heard of that book.
I know, literally I was like, I wonder if Ava's heard of it, because someone suggested it to me, but then it was also in my like poll this month because I did MMF so someone suggested this one, and I'm like, I definitely feel like I haven't seen Ava share this, so maybe she doesn't know about it, but I'm gonna send it to her. I was like, I'm gonna read it first because I have to read it anyway, make sure it's like feels like good representation, which I can only work off of what I can read, but
Right.
it's
Wait, who's
like
the
so
author?
good. It's MJ Edwards. So it's actually a male romance author too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And it is written only from the escort's point of view too. So I like that. Because it's just what he's perceiving about them and everything. But yeah, it's just one of the, like, I love sex as healing, and it literally, that's what it is. But then like the husband starts having like romantic feelings for him too, because he's like helping them with it. Like it's really beautiful. Like I love that shit. So it's so good. Like honestly, this is probably going to be a 6-star novella for me, and that never happens because it's just all of those things together.
Cool.
So I'm loving this. So yeah, I'm going to sneak this one in as the LGBTQ plus one. I do have another one for that, but I'm going to count it on my list here for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Hi everyone. I'm Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings. I'm still reading my first. Well, no, I finished something yesterday, but this is like the first book off of my TBR for this readathon. That is His Darkest Craving by Tiffany Roberts. They're a new to me author, although they've been on my TBR for years.
That's a travesty, Rachel.
I know. And so this is also fantasy and paranormal romance. It's a romance between Sophie, who's a human, and then Cruz, who is this being who rules over this forest, and he can transform into like shadows and like a corporeal form and like all of that. So it's very, very, very interesting. I don't think I've read a romance quite like this before. But it's good so far. I think I just need to like get more into it.
So sorry to but let me but it is probably one of their weaker books. I'm just saying it was one of their earlier ones they wrote too. So I still enjoy that one, but it's not quite their normal style either, which was why like I didn't like that one as much, because I'd already read some of their other stuff before I read that one, and I was kind of like, what is this? But I mean, it's still fun. Like I'm not saying I didn't like it, but compared to some of their other stuff, which just was like my favorite. But anyway,
I'm liking it. Yeah, I'm not like loving it, but I think it's going to be like a solid fantasy, romancy novella thing. So.
Kind of.
Yeah, and just so y'all know, I think I can only stay for like one sprint. But
Okay.
yeah.
I'm good. I was gonna show. I'll cover the naughty bits, but like I have so much sexy art of them.
Yeah.
That's from their they like love doing them. I have a blanket with them on it too. They're the ones I have the book box. They
Oh, cool.
have like a life size of like Crucians.
Oh my god, I love that. I read Claimed by an Alien Warrior by them that I really liked.
Yeah.
But it's not showing up on- Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, that one sounds really good.
Yeah.
That one was cute. It's a cute like road trip alien romance.
Yeah. Some of their standalones are fun because there's also the what is it? The Warlock's Kiss. That one's fun. It's a standalone too.
I'm reading. Well, okay, so I just finished Consequences by was it Dark Cloud 190? Yeah, the fanfic. So that was a mafia romance with Draco and Hermione.
Ooh.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it wasn't like one of my favorites. I feel like in this case it may have been like a little too much smut for me, just because it was like
it's very contemporary. That's what I thought you were gonna say. That one doesn't have any magic or anything.
Oh,
yeah,
like
there wasn't any like I did find myself kind of missing the magic and like just references to Hogwarts and stuff, but yeah, it was okay. I thought it was pretty good though. I still really liked it, and now it just made me like all I want to do is pick up another fanfic right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No, I don't think I'm gonna get to mine. I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna try. The problem is my like the one I'm reading for the readathon now is 700 pages. It's my big one. And like I made it 25% in last night. It's only 200 pages in. And I'm like, oh my God, I have so much left to go.
Right.
But my fanfic one was gonna be my age gap because I have Lucius and Hermione. It's my fantasy romance, and it's the fanfic, which I don't think I'm going to get to it, but I should still have a bingo with if I can finish the other one. But
I know that's the thing. They're so long. Like it's hard. I was like, can I maybe work another one in here? And I'm like, there's no way. The rest of them on my TBR are just so long.
Yeah. I just finished one last night. It's called Beginning and End. It's a prequel to Wait and Hope. Which I adored Wait and Hope. And I really liked Beginning and End too. But Beginning and End is like 250,000 words. And I finally finished it last night.
Oh my God.
I felt so accomplished. I was like, oh my God, this is so long.
Yeah. I wish I'd read Beginning and End first. I really do. Because I don't really like someday now, but like I really liked Wait and Hope as like it was. So it's like I know I'll like that, but I also am like, I don't like going backwards. So
yeah, and it's interesting because the author says like you should read Wait and Hope first and then Beginning and End, but like there's really no need actually. You could read Beginning and End first. Like there's literally nothing in Beginning and End that like ruins what happens in Wait and Hope. I mean, obviously it's a prequel. So like I wish I would have put that first. Do any order you want, but Wait and Hope for me is definitely the superior fic. But I still really liked Beginning and End because it's all from Draco's POV.
Right.
Oh, well, I love when they're from Draco's POV. I absolutely love that. Like the was it All the Wrong Things? Like
so I was literally just gonna bring this one up because I was like, I didn't read those before because that's the one connected to the auction, right? Like the auction is the AU of that. And I jumped right to the auction because I wanted the dark one. And everyone's like, you have to read these. And I was like, no, I don't. I'm gonna read the auction.
I think they're different stories.
I don't want to go back and read it. Well, the auction's so different from like that one anyway, I believe. It's an AU. So but that's when I was in my fully wanted all the dark fics. Now I haven't read a dark fic in a while. They've mostly been lighter ones. Which is just these right now. But yeah.
Sorry guys, I haven't been like going with the comments. My bad.
I know, I forget too sometimes.
They're catching up to us. It's good. But well, as for stuff I already finished, so far the like winner for me is Alive and Wells. That was the first one that I read that was a cowboy romance and a domestic abuse survivor. And she like runs away and ends up working on this ranch, and he's the owner, but it was his like cook who's the one who invited her because she was her like contact. And so she was talking to her online. And when she ran away, she was like, I have a job for you. I have a place for you to stay here. But then she gets there and he's like, I don't want this city slicker working on my ranch. She's too pretty. Get her out of here. She's going to distract everybody.
City slicker.
Yeah. He's literally that kind of guy. But it was a really beautiful slow burn because he definitely had some of like Cade grumpiness going on, but and definitely that we're like, she's lived through literally some of the shittiest stuff ever. So she's just like, dude, you're growling at me, but you don't mean it. So just stop. Like I've been with someone who literally like intimidates me all the time. So it's really good. And that was a debut book too. Ooh. It was so good. I gave it 5 stars and I was like, this is a debut author and she did amazing. So
what's the book again?
Alive and Wells. It's the pretty purple one with the cowboy hat that's on my.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's a Canadian cattle ranch. And what's funny, I told him my weekly wrap up. I filmed that today, and I was like, there was a book last month that I loved, but the farming part of it was not correct. Like they did
and you would
like
know.
They were dairy farmers, and they were like gone for 3 or 4 days in a row, and I'm like, the mama's udders ain't doing well if you're gone for that long. That part-time help. Anyway, it just threw me out of an otherwise lovely story. But like, why'd you make them dairy farmers? Like you could have made them any other kind of farmer, but you made them dairy farmers and then did do your research. But in this one, like the farming or the ranching part of it was so well done. Like they have like vaccination day, which like literally my dad used to do that every fall with the neighbors. He would be the guy who did their vaccinations. Like it was so good. So that in this case just added to the story because I was like, okay, I see this author probably has been to one of these events and isn't just saying, oh, I want him to be a cowboy because Yellowstone. So they're cowboys. And I'm like, if you're going to do that, you need to know what you're writing because I like cowboy romances because I grew up with a cowboy. So I know some shit.
Right. Yeah.
But, when you have beta readers who read your stuff, if they don't know what, they can't give you advice about that. So. Anyway,
I know. Yeah, that's totally a thing. Whenever I read like romance novels where like, I don't know, one of them is a singer or like, I think The Deal by Elle Kennedy, I think she's like a voice major, if I'm not mistaken. I read it years ago, so I can't remember.
Yeah.
But like, there's like the inaccuracies, but like, and I try my best to just like, let go. But I'm like, that's like, so not what we do.
This is not right.
I just reread that, which it was so good. They like fixed those a little bit because they had some dated stuff in them.
Oh,
what?
The Elle Kennedy ones?
Yeah, yeah. Because I just reread one for Patreon, and then I was talking to Madison. I was like, "Oh, it holds up so good," and she's like, "Yeah, we did an edit of all of those." And I was like, "Oh, really?
Oh, interesting. Okay."
Which is funny because if you do see some of the original reviews, like I never noticed this back then, so I didn't notice now that it was out. But apparently, there was some like misuses of words and some casual racism that was in them before that she didn't like. Well, literally, she didn't even know she put in type of thing.
Okay.
But readers noticed. So that stuff has all been like, I know it sounds horrible when I say that. Like literally like things that I didn't know you were offensive 10 years ago. I mean, it'd been like 10 years since you read
those. I was
about
about to say, like, I read those like, I don't even know, like 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And when they were coming back, I couldn't remember anything about them, but I didn't really want to reread them. But I loved them when I read them. I didn't know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know the exact things because I don't remember, but one of my viewers was like, yeah, I wrote a review about how awful it was and I was like, oh, I mean, I believe you. I don't notice shit usually unless it's one of my weaknesses for sure. But I just loved revisiting it. They're so great. Hannah and Garrett are just the sweetest. Like, I just love them so much. So great. So, yeah. But anyway, sidetrack.
Oh my God. Judith, I just got that on Kindle because I was in Target and I really liked the cover. I was like, I want to buy it. And then I was like, wait.
I just looked at it today. I'm like, I still haven't read Gina Maxwell's vampire books. I bought them and I haven't read those yet. I remember everybody really liked those. I
wanted to try her. Does she have another one? Like
there's
motorcycle one?
Oh, who? Gina Maxwell?
No, her new one, like the dark vampire one?
There's 2 of
Like
them.
the red cover?
There's a red one and a blue one, yeah. There's 2 of them out. I have the first one, but I always think I want vampires, and then it takes me too long to get to them. I don't know what's that about, but I have one on PR for this month that I got from an art company or a PR, so I need to try to read it.
Well, and sometimes, you know, you're in the mood for what you're in the mood for. Like, I'm still in the mood. This is like almost 3 months into 2024, and all I want to read is fantasy romance. So, and that's so not the norm for me. I'm usually just like, give me historical romance, give me contemporary, give me sometimes with fantasy. I gotta think, you know, I gotta think to comprehend like what's going on. But yeah, for some reason, that's just what I've been in the mood for.
Yeah,
I've been really into mafia right now. Like all I want to read is mafia romance right now.
I have my Darkest Sins is waiting for me. I'm just waiting to be done with the readathon before I read it. So yeah, I have my arc for that one.
I have an arc for Blood in the Water, I think it's called, and it's like a mafia. Why choose? But the author says,
those are difficult for me to believe. You have to tell me if it's good. I just find like mafia men are just the type where I'm like, they don't share. I need to know how. I'm like, they don't share, man. Like,
I know, I'm nervous, but I'm also like, I want to give it a shot. You know, I haven't read anything like that yet, so.
Yeah, I just got given. I actually just I guess I'm posting my picture tomorrow. I took a picture. There's this one called Malevolent that the author reached out to me, and she said like it will be polyamorous. It's gonna start as like not, but it will be, because she was like, "Do you want to read these? It's gonna be 4 books," and I was like, "I'm sorry, but is there sword crossing? Because I really don't want to start a 4-book series if there's not." I'm like, "I'm sorry," and she's like, "Oh no, there will be." And I was like, "Okay." But my point of mentioning that is it's a crime world one. What am I trying to say? Organized crime. There we go. It's an organized crime. So it isn't labeled as mafia, but it's labeled as like organized crime, which is what that is. So hi Bex. Hello.
Hey guys.
Oh, see, she's reading it. Yeah, I knew. I saw that, Becky. That's a mafia series you like. I think that's so funny. I don't see you read much of that.
Yeah.
But I've been waiting. This couple is like the couple we've been waiting for. And I'm pretty sure there's either this one or the next one. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm so late on the up.
Okay. There's a mafia books all sound the same. So you're fine. There's
that is fair.
Like you're not, it's totally fine. You know, like
I didn't know what y'all were talking about.
when I did the very first like mafia readathon, like there was literally one that was like has brutal or ruthless in the title, because they all have that.
Yeah, they literally do.
This time I'm gonna do like vicious or whatever, because there's a bunch that have like vicious in them or whatever. So they all sound.
I got an arc of Darkest Sins, but honestly, I don't even like doing arcs that much because it puts too much pressure to read it and like it, and then I'm like, I just feel weird. So
I finally took advice. Someone posted a post that said why you should have an arc spreadsheet, and I was like, I don't need an arc spreadsheet. I'm keeping it. And I'm like, actually, that's the smartest thing I've ever heard. So I started putting all the arcs that I have in, and then I was like, holy fuck, I have a lot of arcs that I do.
Yeah.
And I've also projected like as far out as the ones I know I will have. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to stop signing up for arc teams. But
yeah, it can get overwhelming.
I know there's a couple new PR companies though that like nobody's really using them yet. So and they have audio arcs and stuff. And I can't help myself. I sign up for those because it's so hard to get audio arcs.
Right. True.
I have tried to read that one.
I've heard of this one. I heard it was like a little over the top.
Yeah, come on. I had that one on my Kindle for a year, and I finally sent it back because I didn't get to it. But I hear that it's good.
I've heard good things too.
Yes, Amber. Woo-hoo.
It's
so cute.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to like any of her latest.
Oh my gosh, Rachel, you'll love this one. Don't read Grimstone. Don't. But read this one. I'm just being serious. Don't read it. You won't like it.
Really?
I gave it.
Oh no! Dang.
Yeah.
Man, I had high hopes for that one because, like, the gothic, paranormal.
We'll see about book 2. I actually was just talked to her about, she's writing Monarch right now, which will come out in the fall, and then she'll go back to finishing this series. Like, we'll see. She was in kind of a tough place when she wrote Grimstone, and, like, I don't know. I feel like I can tell. And when I talked to her about it, she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, we all have a dud now and then, but come on, this one was.
Right. Yeah, I haven't even read Minx. That's how long it's been since I've read like a new.
I haven't read those either.
Yeah. But Love Contract, literally, like, she may have found a new sweet spot to write because it's just it's so good. And she was very restrained in that one, which was just so different from the last few that she'd written. I mean, both Minx and Grimstone are very sex forward, like, which is fine.
Right.
I'm a sex positive person. I love it. But it felt like that was the only thing bringing the people together. That's what I mean. Like, that's when I think it's a weakness. But this one is like, and the dad's going to get the 3rd book. It's going to be a dad as a bodyguard. And I'm just like, anyway. Oh, I hope you're liking it, Amber, after all that I discussed about it.
Ooh, I've never heard of this author.
I don't think I have either. Komal knows the stuff, man. Like, she suggests some Mafia ones to me that I'm like, didn't even know.
The first one's a dark billionaire romance. Ooh, I just marked it as want to read. That sounds right up my alley.
Well.
Perfectly Imperfect. Yes. The Belandy, I tried one of those. It was really long, though. Yeah.
You got to try what's the series that I was loving recently? My brain is shorting out. There's a series that reminds me of Neva's books. I've been talking about it.
Oh, it's on my TBR. I have Aldo on the TBR.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Rachel, there's audiobooks for those ones. They are like soft mafia, and they're like Canadian. And they're just so sweet. Like, they're so sweet. I don't know. I don't usually call mafia sweet, but like Aldo and Roman, they are. So those are great.
Okay.
Yep.
Mila Kane. What book do I start with her? Because I tried one.
Tell me which one.
It was, hold on, let me look her up because I DNF'd it. Because it was like, it started out when they were kind of teenagers, or they were like really young, like 17, 18. And I was just like,
Is that the like Malevolent King one? Is it that one?
Yeah, it was that one.
Okay. And that one because that one has a secret baby in it. Which I didn't love.
Does it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now I kind of want to read it.
Okay, if you want. It's not the good kind.
Oh.
But what I started with, I said this, Unholy Vows is the one I started with, which is actually a standalone. It's going to be a part of a duet, but like it's not the same couple. Whereas like her other duets are all like cliffhangers, and then you can read the second one. But Unholy Vows is single. And then the hockey romances, which is what Lizelle's reading, those ones are each like a standalone guy too. And it's fun because her hockey romance is in the same world as her mafia romance. So you get a crossover with some characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like one of the guys like retires and lives in that town. And he like keeps an eye on those bad boys. He's like, you guys behave yourselves. I need you to be good on the hockey team, because he like bets on their hockey team and stuff. And his kid likes them. So
okay, yeah, I'm gonna try her because I've been hearing it's like she pops up everywhere now. Like I was even on TikTok and somebody was talking about her. I was like, oh my god, I have to try something by her.
Yeah, she's pretty new too. But yeah, Becky, what you were saying, yes, I think you might like those. I don't know. I thought they were cute, but they're also not directly mafia. That's why I'm calling them like soft mafia. Like they are like abreast with organized crime, and the organized crime leaves them alone because they own a casino, but they're not like officially the mafia, which is what like it was a nice change because
I think I am gonna start that one next.
Yeah, like I said, the audiobooks were really good, and I don't know, I love Melanie Moreland's writes like softer books anyway. So I didn't know what to expect when I read mafia books from her, but I really liked it. So
I don't think I've tried anything from her.
I don't think I have either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
The love contract. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Melanie Moreland. Yeah.
Mhm.
What's the first one? Aldo? I think that's the one I have.
Yeah, I think that's the first one.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm scared, Komal. I'm scared. Literally been looking forward to his book since Twisted Pride, so I'm scared.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Finally,
Wait, is this the brother?
Yeah. Nebby is the
Oh.
psycho twin. He's the psycho
Mm.
twin. I mean, I liked, is it Greta? It's Greta? Nebby and Greta? Is it Greta? I don't know. But either way, this is
Her name, yeah.
I liked hers. I liked hers. But the previous 3 books, I didn't really like them. So but I am a glutton for punishment. I will go back and ask her to hit me one more time. So
Right.
I'm never giving up. And then I might like one. So
I really want to get back into her because the Kimura Chronicles and like Twisted Pride and all those, that was what like really got me into Mafia. And then I just never read after that because I started looking into other stuff, but I really want to go back and give some of her newer ones.
You don't really have to.
Are they that bad?
I stopped after like Twisted Pride and I'm good.
Yeah.
Like Twisted Bonds is good too because that's Nino and Kiara get another book that like their story. But the other 2 brothers, I feel like she didn't have a good story for them. But it was like I have to write every Mafia brothers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
It's probably a good warning because like we did talk for half an hour.
We probably should do a sprint.
She's gonna have to go.
Sorry, my son's calling me. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, we'll do so how long do you guys want to sprint for?
Well, Rachel, how long can you go?
I haven't tried her book yet.
Honestly, I'm fine with however long y'all want to sprint. I'm just gonna do one sprint regardless.
I mean, then like 40 minutes is probably good, Keisha. And if we want to do another one after Rachel, we can do a shorter one because I will stay for 2. I got to finish these books either way. So,
right there it is.
Okay, so 40 minutes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, let's see if I can figure this out.
You can do it.
If I can do it, anybody can do it. So
we did a little practice round last night. So
nice.
We did do a little. Didn't I? I don't know. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, can you guys see the timer?
Yay!
Yes, we can.
Yay!
And,
okay.
Keisha, you can also take the comment off.
Take the comment down.
Currently on there.
Yeah, there we go.
Cool. I forget to do that sometimes. So.
All right.
All right, guys. Hi.
Hello.
So, how was everyone's reading? I read nothing.
I didn't read as much as I wanted to. It took too long, but it's so good. It's so good.
I love
Mine
that.
was slow. It's nice to have like uninterrupted reading time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that too often anymore, so when I do, it's very nice.
Yeah. I do feel like I get pulled away easier. I like need to get one of those little boxes for my phone where you can like put a timer on it.
Right.
I wouldn't do it for hours at a time, but I would do it for like an hour at a time, right? Like I can,
Right.
you know,
Right.
because honestly, like especially at night, like I'll be reading, but my like reading pace has just slowed so much because I'm always checking stuff that I don't
Oh.
like. I don't need to be, but I just like can't help myself, you know. And I don't know. Me and my friend had to talk about this of like how addicted we are to our phones. Where like we're sitting hanging out together. There's nobody I need to be with but her, and both of us every like 30 seconds we're like touching our phone, not even doing anything. We'll just like touch it, and I'm like, why did I need to look at that? You're right here, you know. Anyway, so now I'm so aware of when I do that, especially when I'm with a friend, because I'm like, you are my priority. I'm sorry that I keep touching my phone, but it's like we're so addicted to it, and it's
Well,
hard.
and I think it's hard too because Jen, like your job now
yeah,
is that you have to be so involved
it's true.
in like what's going on in like the bookish world and all of your content creation and like so yeah, how do you separate from that? How do you, not do it 24/7,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know?
That's just why I'm like, I feel like I could still do that thing where like you leave it alone for 50 minutes and for 10 minutes you can do whatever you want on it and like do, like I don't know, cuz that's what I did do that. One of the times we did a sprint, I literally left my phone in my room so that I wouldn't check it. And I like read so much in a 40-minute period because I would like go to reach for my phone still and I'd be like, it's not there. Keep reading. Like anyway, just crazy. But yeah, it is tough. I mean, but honestly, for the amount I check it, it's not like I'm always doing something on my social. It's just that I touch it and pick it up and then get distracted by, oh, I need to check all my apps right now. I'm like, no, you don't. Like
Right.
you could do that once an hour. I'm not gonna miss anything. Like even if it's an email or like a request, like they'll wait till
Yes.
so
Yeah.
I know.
it's just something I've said, like the one of the only downsides since this became my job is that I read less. Like I do. I read my book reading dropped by 200 books from the year.
What?
Wow.
I know I read more than most people, but like I was reading about 700 books and it dropped to 550 the year that I did it full time.
Yeah.
And then that's about what I've stayed at, which is fine. That's still almost 2 books a day is what I say. It's like
That's still a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
but still, like I like having that high of a quality because it's like I get through the books that are like my required reading and then I'll have time to read fics or I'll have time to do whatever. And lately I've like barely squeaked by with my like required reading. It's really cut into my
Right.
mood reading time. And that's why I'm like, well, something's got to give. And the thing that I would like to give is my phone. I would like to treat it like work hours more now and be like, okay, well, I know I don't have a family here, but I'm going to have like me time for a couple
Right.
hours, which is what I would do. I would like read my book and not touch my phone all the damn time. Anyway,
Yeah.
to take that off of you saying you didn't get anything read, that always happened to me during sprints. Like her and I was messaging her about something. I was like, then I did that for 5 minutes instead of like reading a book.
Well, and like, okay, so this was my whole thought process. I started Aldo by Melanie Moreland, and I was like just so keyed up from like starting sprints. I was like, I can't focus on this right now. I was like, okay, let's just try something, shorter. So I tried The Scepter by Jay Bree, which is like that prequel to Oaths, Crown of Oaths and Curses or something. I couldn't get into that. I'm like, let's jump to my audiobook, which I had was it Montana Desire or something? But someone was narrating it. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna read that for this
Yeah.
readathon.
So
So then I'm
JA.
like I'm going back to the drawing board, looking to see like what I have. So I
Yeah.
did Wild for You by Kristen Proby. I think
yeah.
I heard that one. Yeah,
I
that
love
sounds good.
that one's so good.
Maybe
Single dad cattle rancher. There you go. Jump
There
on.
you go.
Who would have thought that 2 months in a row I'd read 2 books about a cattle rancher? Wasn't expecting to do that. I love all these cowboy jobs. It's like people are like they're a bull rider or a cattle rancher or a dairy farmer. Like and I was like, this is my life. I love it. Except when they do it wrong and then it's not great.
Except when they don't get it right.
No. I love it.
Oh, B, that's awesome.
Which book did she say she's reading? Did you say?
No, she said
Never
reading.
mind. I'm scrolling back. Maybe.
Oh, As You Desire.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I love good chemistry, man. That feels great. I think people mistake spice with chemistry these days.
Yeah.
You know, I like the chemistry. I like the heat build up.
The build up is what it is.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I like my spice as good as another, but I know where to go when I want spicy books. I do read erotic romance. So if I want it spicier, I'll go get one. But when I read A Small Town, they don't gotta be banged by 30%, I'm like Alive and Wells, like that one was like a slow burn up to it. And also the book was only 300 pages. So like the slow burn percentage is still like slow burn, but it also, you don't have to wait that long because it's only, and I like that. I like a 60, 70% burn, but when the books are 500 pages, it feels like it takes so long to get there. Everybody's books are so long.
Ate dinner. Jen, did you eat your dinner?
I did eat some of it. It was good.
It
was pretty good for like prepackaged. I was nervous how like prepackaged tiki masala would be, but it was good. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get Taco Bell after this.
Right.
Live your life. Yeah.
Ooh, so you're flying through.
Those are her books are usually pretty fast.
Yeah, true.
I think her most recent one was the longest one she'd done. They're pretty short. See, and that's something I'm saying too. So again, this was also why I think that Melanie Moreland felt kind of like Niveltage, is that she got to the point and got through it quickly. Like that book was only like 220 pages. And I feel like some authors are so worried about stuffing their pages that they also stuff their story. And like that's something I always love about Neva's is they're like short for Mafia. Like she gets in, gets it. And I still feel like I know the characters. Yeah. And I still feel like I know the characters, like Cora Riley used to do that too. Her like earlier ones were shorter ones.
You're right. Yeah.
Which I mean, I get it. She definitely flushed out characters. Claire Kent, all of hers are usually shorter ones. She gets right to it.
Michelle Hurd, they're short too. Or they're long but short. Like, I don't know. The books look a little thick, but I feel like they're shorter.
Her formatting is very spread out. You're right. They read very quickly. Like I used to have some of hers. I had given those ones away, but they're formatted very like large in them. So that's true. They go by pretty fast.
Ooh. 24 hours. I don't know if I could do it.
Oh, I can't do
it.
No, I can't.
I've heard from people. There's this one like commentator I follow that every 6 months he takes 2 weeks vacation with his family, and they only have like literally he has a flip phone that he brings with as his emergency phone because he like detoxes from media for 2 weeks. Right. So they have emergency if like the fam needs to call or whatever, but otherwise because he's in news and commentary, and he's like, I just need to know nothing for like 2 weeks. And he says the first 48 hours he still reaches for his phone, like just like I was saying, like you still reach for it. You feel phantom vibration in your pockets. I think it's something. My phone isn't even on vibration, and I feel like I'll have phantom vibration. Like I keep mine on silent so that I don't get distracted by vibration, but then I still think I feel vibration. Like
I could never. Oh my God, I couldn't.
I couldn't either.
Yeah. I don't think I could do 24 hours, but I would like to, because I have done, like when I'm on vacation, I have done, like I left it at my sister's house when we went to the lake for the day. I was like, I don't need my phone. My sister will take pictures if she wants. Like,
yeah, I feel like it's easier when you're doing something, when you like if you're on a trip, if you have places to go with people, then it's easier to just let the phone go for a few hours.
I should make that a challenge this year of like pick like one day a month that is the like completely a me day. Where like
Yeah.
I'll check it in the morning and then I'll check it after like 6 o'clock at night or something. Just
Yeah.
as like, don't do it. I could probably do that. Find stuff to do. Actually go to like the library again or go walk around. So you have a chemistry. Yeah. That's right. You do. I've seen your chemistry skill. That's a nice one.
Okay, book 2. So I don't have to read the first book in this then?
I think they're all individual ones.
Oh.
Have sex in the first book. Oh, it's about the same couple. Duet, but books 2 and 3 are the duet. That's what it sounds like. It's kind of like Nikki Harris has a series like that where she has 2 books and then a duet and then a book, and like there's duets within the series.
Okay.
They haven't had sex in the first book. All right. So much tension. Hey, I could get on board for it. The Lana P that I just read, the one that's supposed to be a why choose, like there was barely anything at all because it's all just building up stuff. So
Right.
there was only one scene right near the end of that one, and I didn't even care. Like I was so engrossed in the story, and I was like, I really wanted there to be some fucking in it, but I was just so in it. I was like, we don't need to. Like I'm in it. So
I need to finish the first series of hers.
Yeah, I know the audiobook for the 9th one finally came out. So,
wow.
And then she finally announced the Crow. Like I wondered where the Crow season was going to be because there's 4 different kinds of Guardians and the Slua, and we got through 3 different kinds. And I was like, are we going to have the Crows or what?
I'm still in the Wolves.
Yeah, well, I know, but like there's 3 books in 4 seasons. And so yeah, there's the wolves, the vampire, the elves, and then or the fae, the elves. Are they elves or the fae? I don't know, but it's that.
What books are these?
The Long and Lone Wolf series.
Wait, I have
Yeah. The one that I read is a spin-off of it, but like it starts. And I was like, oh, but is she not going to do is she not going to do the Crow?
I need to get to that.
Oh, it's good. I think the first 4 audios are on AnyPlay.
Yeah, really? I found a few of the audios like on Hoopla, like the early.
Yeah, you would, yeah. They were. I had like I listened to all that were available, and then I had to like buy the rest. But I think there was 4 or 5 that were on AnyPlay. That's how I binged those. But I love those all. I love the narrators and the different characters, and so yeah, the spin-off series is like. It has the potential to be like the best Why Choose I've ever read. So we'll see though. I mean, it was literally the first book, but I've never been that engaged in one in a while. I was like that. So. Darkest Sands.
400 pages.
Well, but sometimes the arc documents are not as big because I remember it saying that for the last arc of hers said it was like 390 or something. And when I got my physical book, it's formatted down to like 250. So that doesn't mean it's not a good amount, but I know that my arcs sometimes show that they're way longer. The day went by so slow.
Hey, finishing a book in a day, though? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, man. I miss that stuff.
That's awesome.
Same. Oh, yeah. Fantasy, I read much slower.
Well, there's so much to digest in fantasies, like all the world building and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
2nd and 3rd are the same. First is different.
Nice.
I like that. Vampire season.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see that Mila Finelli's doing a novella in April? That's another like couple.
I did see that. Yeah.
Oh, that looks awesome. I was like,
what? I'm excited. Yeah. I just recently read Mafia Virgin.
Yeah, I saw you did. Yeah. I mean, that was probably my least favorite in the series, but like it's still fun. I love her.
I still liked it for what it is. Yeah. Her books are just like bonkers and fun.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. That one was so strange, but I mean, it's not a good premise. Like, it was like, you're gonna try
Right.
to force Fausto to do this? Like, no.
Okay.
Like, Fausto's gonna do what you want? No. Or Enzo. Like, you're gonna push any of them around, you know? But we had to buy it for it to work. They should have
I
done forced marriage in a different way. Like, there should have been really a gun to their head to make it happen, and then I would believe it, but it just didn't.
Right.
And then they're like, "Oh, well, we don't know if we'll be able to save it, so we better start fucking anyway." And I was like, "But did you have to though?"
Right.
I don't think you did. I mean, I liked it, but like, did you have to? I don't think you did.
Right. Yeah. But her.
Anyway,
I think my favorite of the series is still Enzo's
yeah.
book.
I have to start those. I got signed copies of Mafia Mistress and Darling. Like I won in a giveaway, and I have not read them yet. But
Oh, cool. They're just bonkers.
I
They're
think
just
I do like Enzo's Best too. I need to reread that. I want to listen to the audiobooks of those ones. I've heard they're really good.
the audios are really good. They're kind of funny though, just because like the male narrator, it's like such an exaggerated Italian accent. Like it's just so like over the top, but it fits the vibe of the books.
Sure.
So.
No, I get it. Yeah, I'm torn because like I think Mafia Madman, but I am still really attached to the duet at the beginning, even though I didn't like Mafia Mistress, Mafia
Darling.
Darling. Like I really loved how that one came through.
Yeah, it's a
It
good
just really,
duet.
yeah, it was just so unique, and for what that does for like Mafia Target. Like when we found out Mafia Target was going to be a thing,
Yeah.
I just felt so satisfied that she was actually going to mix, because it's so rare that authors will mix couples, which I get it because they have their demographic. And, you know, like Rena Kent did that. She put in a gay couple into hers or bisexual couple into hers. And like authors just don't usually do that. So I like when they're true to their characters and are like, no, it's going to be here. And I'm like, so I don't know. When they announced his book, I was like, oh my gosh. And then this novella is going to be one too. Going to be an ML.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. I love it. Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yep.
So did you guys want to do? I know Rachel. I think you said you had to go after the
Yeah,
first
I'm gonna
one.
get going, but this was fun. This was
Yeah.
fun.
Will we see you tomorrow? Will you be able to be here tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That one will probably be just like an hour because we'll just talk the whole time. So,
Cool. Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Bye, Rachel. Thanks.
Bye.
Hi, Rachel. Hey, did you want to do another sprint, or for how long?
Yeah, let's do a 30-minute one. That'll take us till
30
9
minutes.
o'clock my time, and that'll be good.
Yeah. Okay.
And I should definitely be able to. I have like, oh, I guess I have even less than I thought. I have like 30 pages left of this one, so I better be able to do that. And then
30
I'll switch
pages
back
in 30 minutes.
Sweet.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll be back. Hello. I actually read that time.
Hi. Yeah, my unmute wasn't working for some reason. No, it was perfect. I finished like 3 minutes ago, so.
Oh, nice. Perfect
Yeah.
timing. How's everyone else doing?
A Fire in the Flesh.
500 pages. Oh, that's a big one.
I read A Fire in the Flesh? I don't know if I did. Isn't that a J.L. Armentrout?
I've never read her.
I know, me neither. Let me see. Yeah, I've never read her, so it's not a rec for me, but it should fit those other ones. Which was for host rec. Yeah, I've never read a Jennifer Armentrout, actually, Julie. But it'll fit for your other ones, so sorry to
Maybe Jess recommended it. Maybe.
Making me want to read it, even though I've been loving. Yeah, I was like, I've never read one of them, so I don't know of another Jen who's read those either. But yeah, sorry. I stuck away from them because a few of my friends didn't like them, so I have never read one of them.
Is that like the spinoff from Blood and Ash?
I think so. I never even read those. Yeah, I've never read a single book from her, actually.
No, I tried from Blood and Ash and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah. I mean, plenty of people absolutely love them. So I don't know if Rachel's read those. Maybe Jess. Do you mean Jess? I think Jess has read them. Maybe you mean Jess and not Jen.
That would make sense.
Pretty sure Jess has read. Yeah. Poor Jess. Yeah, she had some life stuff happen. So we lost her for this for the most part. I hope she can make it tomorrow, but yes, Jess loves them. Yeah, because I was like, not me, but who else could they mean? And maybe you meant Jess instead of Jen, because that would make sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, so does Lydia Michaels one count as those? Which Lydia Michaels, Komal? And I'll tell you, because there are a couple Lydia Michaels that I do recommend. So it's one of those. I think Jen posted about this Readathon. Oh, yeah. You mean one that I didn't rec for this. No, any book you got as a suggestion from me counts, for any of us. Yeah. So absolutely. If you're reading, because there are Lydia Michaels I definitely talked about. Yeah. Any that you saw on our channel or our Instagram count as a rec from a host. It didn't have to be one of the 5 that I put up, which I do kind of wonder if that's what people thought, because I saw a lot of people reading The Best Man, which is one of those ones, which I love The Best
that you
Man.
did like on your stories. I almost read that one.
Oh, well, Komal, the Calamity one, I have not read. I'm just on her ARC team, so I shared a picture, but the ones I've read from her are the McCullough Mountain as well as Breaking Perfect. So I haven't read the Calamity one, but you should read. Mixed up with Fourth Wing. Okay. No worries, Julie. I was just like, I can honestly say I've never read a Jennifer Armentrout, but I have read Fourth Wing, and I know that Jessica loves the Jennifer Armentrout. So you could still count it as a host rec, just not from Jen. You could say it from Jess. Yeah. But anyway, my book, this was definitely 5-star for sure.
Yeah.
I normally don't talk about my Patreon book somewhere else, but you guys get the bonus because it's really close to 6-star. It is super cheesy. So I adore it. I will absolutely recommend it because I can get with some cheese for sure. But I can't quite make it 6 stars because it's like, usually I need a bit more like connection to the story if I'm going to make it that. But there's nothing I like dislike. It just is so like everything works out so easily type thing.
Yeah.
But it is a novella length, and there's no breakups. There's just like, do you want to be our boyfriend? Is kind of the whole point.
I love cheesy books sometimes. Like,
yeah. No, I love them. I have no problem reading a book that's a 3 or 4 star when it's like a cheesy book. Like, it's totally fine. I wanted it to be 6 stars because like the beginning part of it where they're starting to try things was,
Mhm.
like, really working on my, like, tears for it, but then it just got really cheesy in the second half, so I was like, "Oh, this is still good." Like, I'm still gonna recommend this, but it didn't,
Yeah.
like, hold out the emotions, they just went right to, like the husband, he'd never been interested in guys before, and after, like, 3 weeks, he's like, "Be our boyfriend," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's a little bit quick."
Yeah.
It's like but he did
Yeah.
marry his wife after, like, 2 weeks, so that was, I think, supposed to be the thing, like, they got married really quick, so
Like, when he knows, he knows.
exactly, which again, for a novella, totally fine, totally fine, but
I read, like, 10% into Wild for You by Kristen Proby, and I'm actually really liking it, which I've been having a problem with, like, small town lately, but
sure.
I think the whole single dad and with, like, the prologue of him, like, losing, I think, his
Yeah,
wife,
yeah.
and, like, I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, they got me. They got me."
Oh, yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I don't get it with small because I could read a million small towns and not be done, but I get it when, like, a certain type of book, you're just like, "I don't know." But then you find some good ones, man. Like, I just feel like we're in the golden age of small town right now. They've just been hitting all over, so
There's so many now, and
yeah.
that's why I was like, I can't believe I was, like, looking for a small town because I actually have so many on my Goodreads, like, want to read. I'm like,
Mhm.
I have so many to choose from.
I mean, that's literally me all the time. Like it's part of the reason why I'm always in the middle of 3 or 4 books is that when I finish a book, I don't have to think about what I read next then. I just
Mm,
go into one of the ones I'm already reading because
yeah.
I could spend a whole night trying to decide what to read. So I just am always like in multiple books. And then when I finished this and now I need to read my chapters of Dragonfly and Amber. So, I don't
I
have to worry about
know.
starting a book and so
I
yeah.
try to do more than one at a time, and sometimes I can if it's, like, an audiobook and an
Mhm.
ebook, but it just depends.
Sure.
Sometimes because sometimes if I stop reading something, I'll just never go back to it.
Right. Mm. I mean, it
Yeah,
depends.
novellas are hard for me too, come on.
It also does help me DNF stuff that I don't want because I'll be usually I start 3 or 4, and the one that grabs me the most is what gets finished, and then I'll fall into another, but if I don't felt compelled back to one, I DNF it. Like, I just had to do that with that First Flight by Jen McCannon. Like, it was perfectly fun book, but I kept putting it down and then, like, not wanting to pick it back up, and wasn't
Mm.
because it was bad, it just wasn't
The
catching me, so
cover
then I'm
was pretty.
yeah, so now I'm just like, "Well, I just got a soft DNF, there's nothing wrong with it, but
Yeah.
I'm not
Mm.
gonna keep it on my currently reading shelf for 2 weeks when I'm not touching it at all," like
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
so, it's a bummer, I hate when it's books people have sent me, which, unfortunately, that's a lot.
I feel like it's, like, added pressure a little bit, you know?
Mhm, yeah, like that Malevolent one that I just got, like, it looks good, but it's also, like I don't know, sometimes I read better on the ebook,
Mhm.
so, like, I'm probably gonna ask the author for an e-arc too to ensure that I get it done.
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously I love getting physical books from authors, that makes me so happy it's signed and, like, she thought of me and sent it to me, but also I get deepest into books, like, when I'm reading before bed, like, that's when I'll,
Mhm.
like, really get into it, and so I kinda want it on my Kindle. It's just weird. We have our weird habits, like, I usually start books at night and then
Me
finish them
too.
yeah, or sometimes then it gets me into trouble because then I just keep going, like, that happened with Aldo, it was only a 220-page book, but, like, I started it at, like, 10 o'clock when I got in bed, and I stayed up till 2 because it was like, "Oh, it's so short. I can get through it," but, yeah, I read it for 4 hours straight, and I was like, "Oh my god, well, at least this is my job now, so I don't have to get up for my job." But I
Right, you can sleep
still
in.
wake up at 7 to 7:30 every day. I still have the whole 2 years, so
I
you
can't sleep in. I
I know.
cannot sleep in for
I'm
anything.
staying up till 3 every night if I wanted, but I'm gonna wake up at 7:30. So,
So
I try
annoying.
not to stay up that late because then I'm just so tired and
Right.
but
Grumpy. I get tired. Hi.
hi, hi. We're just rambling now. We did do 2 sprints, but now we're just
Yeah.
chatting for a little bit because I mean, thanks everybody for doing the readathon. Like, this one ended up a little bit we had some ups and downs with this, but still fun. I love this one. And the next one coming up will be Mafia Readathon. So
Oh,
I have to get you for that one too, Keisha. That's like my favorite.
stop. I would be my dream.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's not even absolutely. I love it. A lot of my friends who usually do it, like they're not in a mafia phase right now. So, like Crystal's not really doing readathons right now, and Jessen is out works during them. So,
Yeah.
and Tiffany's she's busy all the time, my lovely friend. So that's why I like try to ask new people to do stuff because it's fun. And, when it's this kind of event, like you don't really have to do too much besides host a sprint or like share people's posts. And I love it.
Right.
I get so many recommendations when I do stuff like that. And
I saw so many recommendations, even just from this readathon. I was seeing people posting what they're reading. I'm like, oh, what's that?
yeah, I love it. When I did the fan fiction readathon, right, that is what that
Oh,
added to my TBR so much.
I know I didn't do that one. I can't even remember. I think the first time you did it, I wasn't reading fan fiction yet. And then the
Yeah.
second time, I don't think I was reading it either. So I
Yeah.
was just
Well,
like,
it was
but
almost
next time?
yeah, the first one was in a November of 22, and then we did it in July last year, which this one I'm planning to do in July as well.
Mm.
So that one, I'm excited. So it is always the first weekend of May. And by always, I mean this will be the 4th year that we're doing it. Started in 2020, which is awesome. So it's always the first like weekend. So oh wait. See, I spoke too soon. Hold on. Actually. This year it will be the 2nd week in May because I'm going to be at a book signing on the first one. Never mind.
Ooh, what signing are
Sorry.
you going to?
For the last 3 years, it was on the first weekend. Hold on. For the last 3 years, it was on the first weekend because we did it like over May the 4th. It was always like on May the 4th. But the North Iowa Book Bash is on May 4th this year.
Oh, okay. I was looking into that because it's not far from me.
Really?
Yeah,
Girl, it's only $5.
I know, that's why I was looking into
Like,
it, but then I
I'm
was, like, looking
thinking
at the authors, and I was like, "I don't know if I've ever read any of these authors." So I was
right.
like, "Hmm."
No, I totally get that because, yeah, I went last year with my friend and I only knew 4 authors there, maybe 5, because I
Mhm.
mostly went for Pam Godwin. That's why I went. And then Jennifer Hartman, Annika Martin. I had only read Lena Hendricks's first book, which she blew up. S.J. Tilley was there last year.
What?
And yeah, I
Oh my
got
god, I would
Nero.
die.
I mean, she's not gonna be there this year because she's too big
Yeah.
for this one now, but I
Mhm.
got Nero before anyone else really not anyone, but, like, literally, like,
Yeah.
Nero had just come out, and she was like, "Oh, it's my Mafia series," and I was like there was only, like, 2 authors that sold Mafia there because it
Mhm.
isn't just romance. It's, like, 90% romance, but it isn't just
Right.
romance. There's some, like, um, mystery and thriller authors there. There's some YA, but most of them are romance, but I only knew like 5 authors, but again, it was only $5 to get in and it was driving distance.
Yeah.
So
So
like
worth
my
it.
actual trip only cost me like $250 because I split gas with my friend and I paid the hotel with my business card. And like the whole thing only cost me $250. Just the ticket for like Book Bonanza would be like,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
that's it's just so cheap. So it's like it's fun because you get to meet new authors there. And it's also not busy really. Like it's busy, there's people, but like I was like, "Oh, there's only 4 hours." Like I was so nervous I wouldn't have enough time and like seriously, you have time to just ask authors like, "Tell me about your books. Like which ones do you think I'd like or let's talk about it." And that
that
to
would
me
be
is
great.
stuff you can't do that, after going to Book Bonanza, like you can't do that at a place like that. You
No, no, definitely not. We got tickets to Book Bonanza last
Mhm.
year,
Mhm.
but it was just so much money after, like we were even gonna drive, which is gonna be a super long drive from Wisconsin,
Oh my
and
god. Yeah,
yeah,
girl.
it was gonna be a long drive, but then, like, the hotel situation, it was, like, hard to find somewhere. I was
Mhm.
just, like, getting overwhelmed. I'm like, "Okay, I'm not doing it."
Yeah, I've said this, like, I literally wouldn't have went if it wasn't a gift. Like, I was, like, sponsored to go there last year,
Oh, that's
or
awesome.
I couldn't afford like, I can't afford that. Um,
It's expensive.
Yeah, but, like, North Iowa Book Bash, because I can drive and, like, it's only 3 hours from my sister's place, so, like, the night before, I go to her house and then drive down, and yeah, it was so fun, and then this year, I'm gonna dress up for the after party because I didn't last year, but it's gonna be a pirate party this year, so
Ooh, that could be fun. That could be
yeah.
really cute.
Yeah, I'm,
It's
like
only 3 it's not even 3 hours and 48 minutes for me, so it's really
yeah.
not bad at all.
I was trying to get Ashley Mack to go, but she has something that weekend because it's, like, near the end she works at a college, and it's right near
Mhm.
the end of the school year, so she, like, can't be gone, which is a bummer. But there's something happening in Milwaukee too, I think. There's a
Yeah,
romance
I
season
just
there.
saw that.
Mhm.
Mhm. There's
That
some,
one's too
and
expensive
that's
for
like an hour for me, so I definitely was thinking about going to that one
yeah.
'cause, like,
That one
why
was
not?
kinda pricey, so I wasn't gonna try, but I was like,
Was
"That's a
it?
nice bit." I think so. I mean,
Mm.
obviously, when my range is $5 is what it costs to get me out. But that one's also, I think, like, a 2-day event, and there's a lot more stuff involved, like,
Yeah.
basically, they only charge us enough so that they could rent the room at Golden or what is it? Something Golden Joe
Diamond Joe
Casino? Diamond
Casino?
Joe, yeah. Like, they only charge us $5 because they just
Well,
basically needed to rent the space, so
and Pam Godwin is gonna be there, which I haven't read anything by Pam Godwin yet. I know. I know. But
this
I want
is
to,
so
like, her
good.
new book, I really, really want to read soon.
Yeah.
Jen's like, "What are you doing with your life?"
I know, she just sent out the ARC readers, like, when we'll get the next ARC, and I'm just like, "Ah, I wanna read it right now." Well, like, my hardcover is barely gonna get here before our interview because Amazon takes their sweet ass time
With
sending the
the
hard
hardcovers, they take forever.
yeah, because like, I was like, "I'm just gonna get the hardcover, it's beautiful, I wanted it," and
Mhm.
I ordered it the day before release day because it was available, and it still hasn't shipped yet, but it says it's supposed to get here Thursday. I'm like, "You better get here on Thursday because I wanna put it up for to show it off," but
When is your interview?
it's next Thursday. Yep,
Oh, okay.
that's
Oh my
5
god, cutting it close.
yeah, I know, which, I mean, it'll be fine if it's not here, but I'm like, "Damn it, I ordered it over a week ago. It will have been, like, 10 days, and it's still not here," but
Yeah, I got the, Alliance series in hardback, and it took, like, 2 weeks. I was
yeah,
like, "What the heck?" I totally forgot about them when they finally came.
yeah. I think it's, like, a different printer that does those ones because they come in,
Yeah,
like, a different box. Like, the hardcovers come in a different box than, like, their
regular
other
Amazon stuff.
ones, so yeah.
Yeah, and it's always, like, whenever I go to order, it's, like, usually ships in 1 to 2 weeks, and I'm like, "Why?" I need my Prime to kick in here.
Oh, I know. Prime is basically a joke these days, so
Mhm.
but anyway.
Oh, for the
Yes.
manga books.
I know, I have so many I just collect them when they're free and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
well, I better get back to reading.
I know, I'm gonna go get Taco Bell and then drink wine.
That's the way to live it up on a Saturday night.
On a Saturday night, it's wild over here.
Love it, I love it.
Alright, well, thank you guys for tuning in and participating, it's been fun.
Yeah. You know
Have
how to
everyone have a good night.
bye. Do you know how to
Bye.
stop it?
Mm.